In Jupiter, Florida, there is a 108-foot lighthouse standing 146 feet above sea level in plain sight. It's hard to miss this tower in the sky whether you're on land or sea. Yet, few know the role this lighthouse and its position along the Florida coast has played in history. Let me explain. This lighthouse was designed in 1855 by George Meade, the same man who would defeat General Lee's army at Gettysburg years later. Meade had anticipated it would take a crew of 20 men working around the calendar a year to build the light and at a cost of $35,000. However, construction of the lighthouse took several years longer to complete. This was due to factors such as the Third Seminole War interrupting work, and the silting shut of the inlet, which caused supplies to be offloaded from large ships to smaller sloops 35 miles out in the Indian River Inlet. Construction did finally begin under the supervision of Edward A. York in January of 1860. By mid-May, the tower had risen to its height of 108 feet. York is credited with personally calibrating the Fresnel lens in the light. This lens is one of only 13 active first-order Fresnel lenses in the entire United States today. The first official lighting of the Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse took place on July 10th, 1860. As I mentioned, there's a lot of history surrounding this lighthouse, but we can only talk about a few points. So first, the lighthouse was built near Jupiter Inlet to mark the dangerous shoals lying off that point and to guide vessels along the coast. However, some of the boats that were guided by the light in the 1860s were those of Confederate blockade runners and the Union gunboats that were patrolling the shores for them. In August 1861, former assistant keeper of the lighthouse, Augustine Lang, sent the keeper, Joseph Pape, on his way to Key West, while they disabled the light. The Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse would remain dark until the end of the war between the states. It would not be relit until June 28, 1866, and it has been an active navigation aid from that day to this. The lighthouse has had a military presence for much of its history. The Naval had a naval radio station, and the Coast Guard built a DF, or High Frequency Direction Finding Station, built nearby. With the onset of war in Europe in 1939, the Navy established an intelligence listening post at Jupiter Inlet, and by April of 1940, the U.S. had abandoned any pretext of neutrality, and the Jupiter Inlet post was acknowledged as an interceptor and DF station. The official name of the post was the Communications Radio Intelligence Unit and Radio Direction Finding Station, also known as Station J. You might wonder why the U.S. needed a radio intelligence unit along the coast of Florida. The war was in Europe. Well, German U-boats had begun hunting tankers and cargo ships that were headed from South American and U.S. ports to sink their cargo before it could be transported to Britain or other European allies. The U-boats were having a heyday sinking boats off the coast of Florida. It is believed that the U-boats are credited with sinking some 70 ships in the Gulf of Mexico and along the Florida coast. Station J's job was to intercept the radioactivity of the U-boats when they would surface during the night to charge their batteries and send messages home. These intercepted messages were then used to warn Allied ships and led to the sinking of many U-boats, including 67 that were destroyed along the Florida coast from May to June of 1941. Station J was decommissioned on July 15, 1945. The Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse Museum is housed in the last remaining married quarters building that was used on Station J, and it is where you will pay your admission to climb the light. There are so many places around Florida that have a unique historical importance that few people know about. If you are interested in learning more about Florida's history, you can check out the other videos on this channel and leave a comment letting us know what you would like to see next. Thanks for watching.